There is one piece of advice you need to choose between hiking boots, shoes, and trail runners. You'll get this hot tip later on in the video. Now, there's a lot of advice out there about what you should buy, shoes, boots, or trail runners, and I'll level with you. I have all three, and I hike in all of them. It just depends on what I'm doing. So in essence, there's no wrong answer here because each type of hiking footwear has its place. But what's important to consider are three main things. First, what type of terrain do you typically hike in? For snow, mud, lots of water, soggy terrain, you're going to want waterproof hiking boots or hiking shoes. Boots are mandatory in cold, wet climates or lots of winter outings. If you're in warm, arid environments, mainly hiking in summer, or you move light and fast, then a lightweight hiking shoe or a trail runner is going to be where you want to start since breathability is a huge concern. What type of activity do you usually do? Are you a thru hiker, backpacker, casual day hiker, trail runner, or are you like me and you do a little bit of everything? Backpackers can absolutely use all three types of footwear. Personally, I use my trail runners for backpacking, but you won't get as much life out of a trail runner as you will a shoe or a boot. If you're a casual hiker, you can use whatever you like. Your choice should be based on where you usually hike. Thru hikers are going to go through at least one pair of shoes on their journey. You're just throwing down so many miles. You're likely going to go for what is cheaper and lighter. Aggressive hikers will likely lean towards hiking shoes or trail runners. These give you the flexibility and lighter weight you need for really big days. Next, look at the level of support you need. Some people medically need a specific kind of shoe, and you may not find out if you're that kind of person until you get going. If you've had surgeries from the hip down or you have weak ankles, start with a hiking boot or hiking shoe. These have the most stability. If you suffer from specific foot issues, a trail runner may be where you want to start since these shoes offer the most cushion and foot support. After all, they're built for heavy hitting, like when you run. You can always check with your doctor before searching. If all of that hasn't confused you enough, then let's try to clear up some of the decision making by weighing the pros and cons of each shoe. Hiking boots are sturdy and the most waterproof. Obviously, check the model. You'll have maximum ankle support too. Well-made boots last a long time. My last pair of Loas lasted me 10 years. But hiking boots are the least flexible, making tricky terrain a little harder to navigate. They're also hot and the least breathable piece of hiking footwear. And they're pretty heavy. Typically, you won't find as much foot cushion as you would with a trail runner either. Next on the spectrum are hiking shoes. Now, there is quite a bit of variety here. Your first choice is for them to be waterproof or not. Personally, if you're not using waterproof hiking shoes, you might as well buy a burly trail runner. So I always recommend waterproof varieties. You'll get similar durability with a hiking shoe as you do with a boot, but you'll have added flexibility. This makes tricky terrain such as rocks, scrambling, or steep trails a bit easier for most people. You're getting added breathability as well. The downside here is there is no ankle support. Waterproof hiking shoes are slightly less breathable than runners, and hiking shoes can weigh a decent amount. They aren't as cushion-like as trail runners either. Trail runners are all about being light, fast, and providing foot support or cushion. But just like hiking shoes, there's a lot of variety here. First, they are the most breathable of all the footwear on the list, and they are also the lightest, which is why I love them. Their job is to provide as much cushion and traction as possible for moving fast, so I personally find them to be a little bit better than boots and shoes when it comes to the sticky factor on rocks, but it's really subtle and a lot of people wouldn't notice. Most of these shoes flex quite a bit too, giving you an agility edge. They're also the most breathable, which is great if you get a lot of blisters, but they aren't waterproof at all. Your feet are going to get wet in marshes, streams, snow, etc. And secondly, they really aren't as durable. For me, this is the biggest downside of the trail runner. My boots last 10 years, my trail runners last 3 seasons. You can, however, use them as a gym or a walking shoe for a little bit of added life. That was a lot of info for my final tip. This trumps all of the advice I literally just gave you. The hiking footwear you should buy hinges on just one thing. What feels the most comfortable to you? That's it. Try on everything you can, but buy the shoe that feels the most comfortable. Want even more advice for choosing the right hiking gear? Be sure to sign up for my newsletter in the show notes down below.